Wake up, Luffy. Wake up, Luffy. I don't like that, man. Continuing on to my live reaction to the review, I look at so many things in this chapter. And again, the biggest and unexpected thing that came from this chapter was clearly Scratchman Apoo using himself as a launching pad to essentially, possibly, get into the Flying Six. This is one of the worst generations, Supernova. And he did his thing. To me, he would have defeated Luffy had he capitalized, had he pressed on. But of course he couldn't because Zoro was right by his side. I mirrored the two from when Sanji grabbed Luffy because Big Mom knocked him out. Respect. That's an emperor. That's a Yonko. You understand the status quo with regards to a Yonko. You understand it? I love it. But then you got Scratchman Apoo, someone who's in the same worst generation crew, Supernova as you yourself, 1.5 billion berry bounty, and you get off guard, off hooked, off shocked, surprised by Scratchman Apoo to the point where you're immobilized. But then again, you look at the consistency when regards to the Straw Hat crew. I got your back, you got mine. We gonna ride, period. I love it. But when you look at, I look at so many things. And in this chapter, it told me, don't underestimate One Piece characters. If you haven't seen them, they gotten stronger, period. Clearly. Right now, Scratchman Apoo might have the biggest feat in One Piece ever. He took down the main character like that. And if it wasn't for Zoro, he would have had all of that. You know what I'm saying? No. If it wasn't for Zoro real life, it would probably be the end of One Piece as we know it because Apoo would have defeated him. And that's just that. Luffy was immobilized. Luffy was knocked out. It was very, very scary to even witness because of how, it was very detrimental almost, the situation. And Zoro's reaction, in a sense, was very, very, vague almost, but it was very expressive. And when I mean expressive, you could tell that he was worried about Luffy. You could tell that he didn't understand what went on, and he actually thought about the mission. He wanted to just go ahead, because granted, maybe he could have fought, but they would have suffered a lot of damage, and all we had truly was Apoo. You know what I'm saying? Of course, he's keeping his distance, but he's a long-range fighter. He's doing what he's supposed to do. Of course, with there being other, I know, I understand, with there being other gift their smile users still, when you got somebody like Apoo and you get sneaked up on like that to the point where you got to have your bro Zoro, right-hand man, pick you up, it's not a good look. It's not a good look, but it did offer a lot of surprises, and it made me just kind of stand up, mark out kind of, because it still mind boggles me. That's why I kind of started the review off with just that, because I needed to get that off my chest. That was great, because it really set up the unexpected factor and surprising factor that we're going to have when regards to the Wano arc and what's left and what's more going to come. I'm excited already. That's beautiful. Well done, Oda-san. Well done. Moving on, this chapter was just essentially that. It was essentially that. It was a continuing of Luffy kind of getting mad at Kaido's men or henchmen or smile users, whatever, and them kind of noticing that, hey, they're not a part of our crew. They look kind of funny. Get them. So now it's kind of the start of something. Luffy, dumbass, elephant gun, huge ass shockwave blast. Queen noticed, okay? And when Queen noticed, he kind of gets serious, and he's like, yo, I'm gonna take out one of the Flying Six. That means the spot is going to be open, kind of like what Kaido told, the Flying Six, if you can take out one of the All-Stars. So that's interesting, but I don't know. It's almost like it was pre-planned on Kaido's end, and it kind of felt funny and fishy. Again, I'm going to wait for the official translation on Sunday so I can dissect everything. This does look like one of those chapters where you're going to have to read it not once, not twice, but twice. It looks like that. It honestly does. But I do like a lot of things with regards to Queen. because he keeps it real and he knows how to excite the crowd in more ways than one. When he said the spot will be open for his flying six, all the not even nine necessarily, because non-smile users just started drinking. That's my apologies. But the smile users, all of them just started attacking Luffy and Zoro. And Kid kind of like just running out the way. He was actually going to go to Kaido's castle. He was going to go to Kaido's castle and he was going to invade until he just, I guess, couldn't get Apoo out of his head because he did portray him. It kind of all started with Apoo, and that's a fact. It low-key did. I just wish Kid kind of did that in the beginning and didn't give Luffy a bad look. He probably knew about Apoo's power, and Apoo didn't really see it coming. Again, he's a long-range fighter, so it was expected. Again, it was expected. What wasn't expected was how Apoo was doing against Zoro and Luffy, how Apoo actually held his composure. You would have thought Apoo was going to be one of the flying six based off what Queen said. You know what I'm saying? Very, very interesting. This chapter was kind of short. It was, but it was a great chapter in a sense. We saw some fights. We saw some new, not necessarily new characters, but some returning characters actually do some damage. We saw some unexpected things like Luffy kind of getting knocked out and Zoro kind of having to hold him. When in the last arc or the last saga, Whole Cake Island, we see Sanji do the same thing to Luffy, but Big Mom does it. And Luffy, you know, it's very parallel. Very, very parallel. And it just, again, offered a surprising factor, an unexpected factor, and I can appreciate that. Again, this chapter was pretty freaking solid. It was good, honestly. It was very good. I don't really know much else, to say. There's definitely going to be more people kind of coming in and fighting Luffy and them. I don't know if they can kind of just get out of this. They probably will, but it's hard to say because now Queen knows Luffy. I don't know if she knows Kid, but she knows Luffy and Zoro is there. So it's going to be hard for them to just get away because now Queen is going to know, and it kind of fucks up the whole mission, and it's kind of predictable on Luffy's end. I kind of wanted to see if they can kind of like infiltrate like the dinner and like just start crashing shit. That'd have been amazing, but we're not going to get that obviously because Queen is going to tattletale to King. King is going to just tell Jack some slide shit, and they're all going to go to Kaido like, what should we do? Big Mom and Kaido's like, hey, well, handle it. It's Luffy. Nah, you know, that sort of mess. And we're probably going to get like a head-to-head confrontation. I still don't know how they're going to do it. They're weak as shit, in my opinion, Luffy and them compared to the big Yonkos. They must have a secret plan, agenda. I don't know because I don't believe this little ass training. I don't give a fuck. Part 2, Gear 2, you know what I'm saying? I don't care about that. Y'all not gonna step up to Kaido or Big Mom and act like y'all about to do some damage. Nah, you're just not doing it. Sorry. Like they even said Kaido. They don't even know about Big Mom. You know, I mean, I know they know about Big Mom, but they're not focused. I don't know why you're retarded. Big Mom is gonna slice your throat off. I don't know, man. I'm just rambling at this point, but that's pretty much it for this review. Again, I'm probably going to give an analysis on Sunday just so I can give my more concrete thoughts because, again, this chapter is not going to be one of those ones where you just read once, not twice, but 3 times. So, yes, that's pretty much it. Until then, I'm going to see you guys later.